Karl Lawrence King was born on February 21st, 1891, in the tiny village of Painterville, Ohio. He then grew up in Canton, Ohio. This was an era of the Sunday night band concerts in the park. This left a great impression on Karl King, which would remain with him throughout his entire life. The local town band in Canton stirred his love and talent for music, so at the age of 11, he bought a cornet. With money earned by selling newspapers, he began taking lessons. Karl's only formal music instruction consisted of 4 piano lessons and 1 harmony lesson from a musical show director. When Karl turned 19 in 1910, he joined Robinson's famous circus and played the baritone. Over several years, he played the baritone with the Yankee Robinsons, Sells Floto, and Barnum and Bailey circuses. In 1913, he wrote Barnum and Bailey's Favorite, which became one of the most popular marches in the world and was adopted as the theme song for the Barnum and Bailey Circus. Gerald Jimerson, the current director of the Karl King Band, talks about Mr. King's life.
From about 1910, when he joined the circus at the age of 19, until the end of the 1918 season, there was a 9-year period of time there where he was traveling with various circuses or directing various circus bands. And there was no music written for those particular acts. And so he might have say a trapeze artist come and join the circus for a show, and there wouldn't be any music. And so he would sit down and literally overnight, he would write out all the parts and would play it with the circus the next day.
In 1919, the King family returned to Canton, and in 1920, Karl King gave up the circus life for good and accepted the position of conductor of the Fort Dodge Municipal Band. Under his leadership, the band became a popular act at rodeos, fairs, and expositions. Karl King was a gifted composer, having numerous compositions published while he was just a teenager. King published over 200 marches. He earned the title America's March King. He also composed overtures, serenades, rags, gallops, and waltzes, totaling close to 100 additional selections. King's leadership and influence on the band was considerable and immediate. He was well liked and respected as a musician and a conductor. He was a demanding and patient leader, setting high expectations for all his musicians. High school musicians who played under King viewed him with respect, awe, admiration, and just a little tinge of fear. He had a profound influence on their lives. A number of them went on to be distinguished musicians, educators, and bandmasters. In fact, current director of the Karl King Band is a former player under Karl King himself, Mr. Gerald Jimerson.
When I was a senior in high school, he came back one time and sat down beside me in a chair and asked me where I was going to go to college, and I told him kind of what I had in mind, that I wanted to be a band director, and I thought I'd go to State College of Iowa. It was at the time. It's UNI now. And he suggested that maybe I look at Buena Vista because the director of bands there was in the band, and thought they were doing a good job. And I didn't have any money to go anywhere. I was paying for everything myself, and so whatever I decided to do was my responsibility. And so through his encouragement and through my college band director's encouragement, I was able to go to college and get my degree. So he influenced me tremendously. I had the fortune of playing for 11 years in his band before he passed away.
Karl King's greatest tributes came from his adopted hometown and state. Signs at major highways leading into Fort Dodge state, "Welcome to Fort Dodge, home of Karl L. King." In 1962, Karl King and his band appeared at the dedication of a new $2 million viaduct spanning the Des Moines River. When the plaque was revealed, it was named after Karl L. King. This was a secret kept until that very moment. In 1975, Karl King received the Iowa Award, the highest honor the state bestows on an individual. Governor Robert Ray presented the award to Karl King's wife, Ruth King.
I played for a legend, and I didn't know it. He was just such a humble man, and so unassuming, and such a nice person that I really didn't appreciate the fact that I was playing for a great individual. And as the years have gone by and the awards have come in, Mr. King's featured at the Iowa Hall of Pride. He's featured at the Circus Museum in Sarasota, Florida. I believe it's somewhere in southern Iowa. Shenandoah or Clarinda or somebody down there has a walk of fame or whatever. He's featured there. He's received all kinds of awards from the governor in the state of Iowa.
Karl King died in Fort Dodge, Iowa, at the age of 80 from diverticulitis. However, his legacy still lives on today. Karl King contributed more circus marches than any other composer ever. Karl King played an important role in the Iowa band law, legislation giving municipalities the right to levy a small tax to support a municipal band. Mr. King was one of the first composers to write special music for high school band programs in America. Much of King's music is still played today all over the world. He is one of the most loved and most respected figures in American music.
We've had inquiries about his music and about the things that are on our website. I think it's somewhere up over 120 different countries now in the world. His music is very popular right now in Japan and in Switzerland, believe it or not. But a lot of his music is still performed today by school groups, by professional groups, and I'm just one story. So many of the people that came into that band and played were influenced in one way or another by Mr. King. Just through 50 years in Fort Dodge and 10 years before that in the circus and so on, he impacted so many people. It was just amazing, the influence that he had and the respect that he had